So a horrific story is coming out about an American family that was murdered by Mexican cartel people several miles over the border. Children as young as 8 months were murdered. People were lit on fire in a car, were shot in the chest. Women, children, it didn't matter. And Trump's came out and said that basically this is an act of war and that he would like to work with the Mexican government and their new president to be able to help fight back against this army that the cartel has, which I would just like to say I completely agree with the president. This is something worth fighting against, not just for our country and its safety, but this is right on our border, and this is heinous actions that are occurring. We know that the Mexican government routinely is bought and paid for by these cartel, and the good people in that government are afraid to do anything because they're outgunned. Just a few weeks ago, we saw that a cartel leader was actually freed because the local police were outgunned by cartel members that came guns ablazing in order to free those people. So I do agree with Trump here. But what I wanted to focus on with this is, I'm not saying this is the Democrats or the media's fault. Clearly, these cartels existed long before them and would exist without them. But remember, when we see how heinous these actions are, remember, we had the media and people in the Democratic Party and others that would say things like, remember the discussion, would you rather that your family live next to a Trump supporter or an MS-13 member? We had them say routinely that, how dare Trump call these people animals? It's terrible to call these people animals. It's terrible to say that we need to have a wall to protect ourselves from this type of thing. This is the other side of the coin. Again, I'm not blaming the Democrats for this murder occurring or their media mouthpieces. What I'm saying is this is the other side of the coin. Yes, there are illegals coming in that are probably great people that are just trying to better themselves, but there are also people like these cartel members. Now remember, we had to give up our Fourth Amendment rights and many other rights when we do things like fly on airplanes because we need to ensure the public safety. We're told that the threat is so big and so massive that me and you need to be spied upon, our conversations are recorded, all things that I'm against, by the way, through the Patriot Act, through the NSA, through, airport security and things of that nature. Yet at the same time, we have a totally open border when it comes to the South. All of these Democratic candidates had said, no, we don't want to make it illegal to come here. No, we don't want to detain people. Well, then what's the alternative? You would just leave people like these cartel members to come through, and we see the heinous actions they're capable of. And again, we've seen this downplayed by media and Democrats that want us to believe that, oh, we shouldn't call these people monsters. Oh, they're just all good, hardworking people. They murdered babies. And this is just the newest and most blatant story, but this type of stuff's been going on for decades. So I applaud Trump in wanting to deal with the Mexican president to be able to do something about these cartels, but it further illustrates the need to have a secure border, and it shows just how heinous some of the people, the Democrats and the media are, that wanted to downplay, oh, MS-13's not that bad, when you hear stories about MS-13 members in our schools or posing as children to be able to come across and committing crimes in the United States, or when we hear about MS-13 members or other cartel-related members that are held from ICE and local sanctuary cities don't want to cooperate with ICE in order to deport these people. That's the type of stuff that's going on, just like we saw with Baghdadi, where the hatred of Trump is so extreme with some of these people on the left and some of these people in the establishment that they end up saying, well, Trump's worse than Baghdadi. Trump's worse than MS-13 members. I didn't like Obama. I didn't like Hillary. I'm not saying they're worse than people that are shooting babies, that are burning babies alive. That's an incredible amount of derangement that you have if you think that Trump's worse than these people. And we've heard people in the media say it. So my heart goes out to all the victims and their family. I hope that this is taken care of. I hope that the Democrats and Republicans could come together to agree that we need to do something about these cartels. And I hope that the president of Mexico takes Trump up on his offer, and we're able to come up with a significant plan to be able to deal with these cartels. So, hey, thanks everyone. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. Please recommend me to some other people. I'd really appreciate that as well. And look forward to me putting out more videos almost daily. So thanks everyone, and have a good one.